Okay, everyone, I'm just going to do a really quick, rough run through of my Hobonichi weeks for 2021. It is a weeks mega. It's actually a sneaker, and this is the cover I'm using right now until I get a VDS, a Vanderspec, or a Gilio. But I wanted to show you a quick run through of it because I use literally every page in it. I wouldn't say that I'm a minimalist planner all the time. Sometimes I am. I never use like full-on full-page stickers. So hopefully that helps everybody. So this is a cover that I sell in the shop. It's made out of this white and gold croc. And then I made this as an extra pen loop. So this is from the Dollar Tree. It's those flexible cutting boards. And then I sewed elastic onto it, which I need to make gold because it bothers me that it's silver. And then it just slides right in, and I have an extra pen loop when I want to carry this other pen with me. This is in elastic, so I have two sets of elastic in this, and normally this week's is on this one, but to make it easier, I took it off. This is just my inbox and a vellum I printed, and this is where I brain dump. I literally just put everything I'm going to do. I just switched out to a new one because of using switching to a new Hobonichi, but basically anything that I don't want to put in here yet, or I don't want to mess up, then I put in this. And then that way I know that I've got it. And this is Tomoe River paper. It's the only paper I use. I buy it on Amazon and I make my own inserts. I just sew up the middle. You can see it there. Okay, so this, like I said, normally is in this elastic, in this cover. I started years ago covering the cover myself with a paper I liked and then matte contact paper and then putting other stuff on it. And this year, this book, I have already bonded with this thing. It's so crazy. You know how it is. Sometimes you pick a planner and you just can never use it. I have used the weeks off and on for years, but this year, like instantly, this thing and I are already one. So I just have these fun little things on here. And I glued, I took out the page markers from the one I used last year because it was not a sneaker, and just taped them on the outside here because I like having the page markers. They're curly right now because I usually have bookmarks on them, and I'm getting different ones to match this color. So I'll have those attached on the bottom. They'll hang off the top. And then I always have my little pom-pom because I love it, and the Eiffel Tower. So on the inside, picture my kids, just general stuff, the pocket where I keep my stencil. Then I always do these 2 pages. And this year for 2021, my word for the year is discover. It is a year for me to discover the truth about who I am. That's the best way to describe it. To discover my strengths and discover better ways to have self-love, self-care. I love that word. To me, discover is full of excitement. It's a really big part of my personality. I love to travel, so hopefully this year COVID nonsense will be over and I'll be able to travel somewhere. But this is watercolor. And I had commented in one of the, well, actually a couple of the groups, that this paper is different. And I had people arguing with me, telling me that no, they weren't switching until next year. But I am telling you flat, dead out, this is not the same paper that was used in previous weeks. This book that I have is not the same. It could be that they use a different powder in their processing. I don't know, but it does not take watercolor the same. It doesn't sound the same. It's much more crinkly and not soft. If you've ever used Hobonichi paper, you know what I mean. If you've Tomoe River paper. If you've never used it, you won't miss it, but I desperately miss it. So this is my, just how I always do the inside. I cover up the years that I don't want to use, and then I print all these stickers myself for the months, and this is just washi tape, this flower stuff. So this is how I am going to use my the trackers this year. And I don't know if you can see it, but basically what I did was I took 12 months of different subjects that I want to work on discovery about myself or my family or work on in my area. So physical health first, because I'm really focusing on losing at least 100 pounds, if not 150, by the end of 2021. So physical health and then self-love. That has been one of my biggest weak areas. It's one of the reasons why I have gotten to the weight that I am and a lot of other issues. Financial health, closer to God, then family, then personal growth. And then I kind of start growing. So business ideas, writing, new things, joy, serving others, and then December, month of rest. But what I'm going to focus on in each of these months, even in rest, is I'm going to track every day that I am consciously making a decision to rest that day. And to me, rest is resting in God's presence. It's resting in my relationships. It's taking a step back and resting in my business. There are so many different ways that I can do that. Same thing here, like with writing. Every day that I write something, I will mark it off and track it on here. Financial health. Every day that I do something positive to improve my financial well-being, I will track it on here. And I'm going to do, I think, a little pixelated design. I just haven't decided on that yet. But basically, that will be my year. And that's how I'm using that tracker. Then I use the monthly pages, which I'm just getting ready to do this tonight. I use the monthly pages for my workout log. So what I will do is I will write in here, I'm starting None to Run. I don't know if any of you have heard of that program. I got COVID this year and then pneumonia. I was in bed for 6 weeks. It was insane how bad of shape I am in now. Like, I was not in great shape before, but I could walk a couple of miles easily without being winded. And it's crazy. I'm just now getting strength back and I'm so out of shape. So I'm going to do None to Run. So I may repeat multiple weeks. I'm going to write it in pencil, but basically you start off walking, then running, and you improve until at the end of the program, which 12 weeks, however long it takes you to do the actual 12 weeks, you will run for 30 minutes straight. So I want to go back to running races in 2021. And at the end, December 2021, I am hoping to run a marathon. I may not make it now this year. I may have to just focus on the half. And in 2022, I will run a full one. But we'll see how it goes in the next couple months. So I will write in here all of my workouts. I'm looking to see. Hold on. Let me grab my... This is my weeks from last year that I've kind of pulled apart. And so you can see, I'll write in here just the actual program. Like I write over here the week of what it is, what my heart rate is, all that kind of stuff. And then what I'm doing that day and any races I'm doing. So that's how I use the monthly pages. That's the only way I use them. So I have them all blocked off here, but they're all the same. They'll all just have the same stuff in them all the way through to November. Then because I always switch planners when the new one starts. So for me, my year goes December 1st to December 1st because I can't stand waiting an extra month. So this year I decided to use these extra months that are in here for my weight loss journey. So I'm going to track my weight loss on here, and I haven't quite decided yet how to do that. I may put a full page sticker over this. I'm not sure. I'm going to track all my measurements. And then I'm going to take before and after pictures and print them on sticker paper and put them in here. And then the health logs in general, like my blood pressure and all of those kind of things. I want to be able to look at this when it's all over and have just a written visual proof. I'm a very visual person. This was my first week. So as I said, I sort of am a minimalist. I probably should have blurred some of this stuff out, but I really don't care. My appointments I put here. So this is the layout I finally have settled on for my weeks. My appointments I put here. These are the priorities for that specific day, things that I need to do. Then over here, it changes week to week. Things I want to find, things I want to remember, things that are coming up. This is this current week, which I did not like how this turned out with all this color. It started and it went on its own. But basically, I'll cover this right here. But basically, appointments, same thing. Things I have, goals this week, what I have coming up. And then all of these weeks will be the same. So we go through here to the last week. So as I said, I start in the first week. So I know that next year I'll be starting the new week on the new book on November 29th. So I won't be using these weeks in this year. So I'm going to plan out some meal plans for 1,500 calories and 1,800 calories, kind of going back and forth. And then once I start running, then that calorie amount will jump up. I have spent a lot of time calculating exactly where I need to be at with my BMR and with how much I need to be healthy. And so right now I'm going between 1,500 and 1,800, and then it'll bump up over 2,000 once I'm running again. So I'm going to lay these out in here and do breakfast, lunch, and dinner and draw the lines and have the meal plans in here for these months. So I found these cute little tabs. I don't remember where I got them. I think it was with the Midori or some one of those little planners, but they're really cute. So this is for me to find this so I can go look at least an idea when I'm starting of what I can eat. I enter everything into an app on my phone for macros, but I like to have it written out so I can see it when I'm on the run. So that's those pages. And then we get to the index. So this right now is what I have in here for my index page. Again, a little tab so I can find this again. Basically, I always do the first 2 pages as like a vision board. So I'll be working now on what Discover will mean to me for 2021. I will find a bunch of images and words, and I will make this into a vision board. So I always have it with me. I can always find it. That's why I put the tab on this index page. When I need motivation, I can come back and look at that. And then I go into my weekly notes, and this is the rough and ugly stuff. I never usually decorate this. I might put some doodles or stencil some little drawings, but this is not, I never decorate these usually. So this is just the stuff I need to get done. And then these are things that I'm doing, and right here, I wrote all this in and then realized, you know what, I need to have a promise page. So I moved all of this over and I just make notes to myself on it. So these weekly notes, and this week I switched, and this will happen. Through these weekly notes through the year, I will change this layout frequently. Right now, I just went ahead and labeled the top of each one with what week it is, but this right now, I'm trying a new one. I'm going to plan out what I'm going to eat this week and write it in here. So I'm in the process of possibly switching to vegan, and so I'm researching menus and all of that, but I'm going to plan out this week what I will eat, and I'll put that in there. So all of these pages are the weekly pages up to my next little tab. And then I'm going to have a section for recipes that I find. And I'm not writing the actual recipe on here. What I'm going to do is write the web page where I found it or the magazine so that I can go and find it later. Unless it's a very quick recipe I can jot down. But pretty much this is just going to be a log. And I will sketch out and draw this out. I'll show you when I did later so that I can have a grid already drawn in. And then meal ideas. And I have a lot of those. And then I have blank pages because I don't know what I'm going to use the rest of this for. There's about 35 pages left. That's it that I haven't allocated yet. And I will find a use for them as the year goes on. So then the next little tab is waiting on. So this is all of the stuff that I order, shipments, where I got it from, who the carrier is, what the expected date is. And this is what I usually do on all those pages. I just draw in a basic simple grid. I highlight every other color so my eyes don't go crazy. Let's see, the next I think is my personal info. So this one, I can't show you really anything in there, but basically this is all of my info for my family, my kids, myself. It's account numbers and social security numbers and driver's license numbers and all of the thing. And I had somebody ask me once if I was worried carrying all that with me. And I'm like, no, this thing never leaves my sight. And if it is lost, nobody would know necessarily what it all means because there's no names or anything on it. It's just a list of numbers. But I know how to decipher it. And then I have this promises to keep page, which is things that I say I'm going to do and I want to track it, like payments I'm going to make or things that I'm going to buy. I track them on there. And then we get to business. And again, I have some extra pages in here, but I would rather leave room so I could squeeze something else in than have it all be too close. I'm doing some temporary work for On Track, doing deliveries starting tomorrow. So I need to track every day how many deliveries I do, how much I should get paid, when I'll get paid, that kind of thing. And that's this whole business section. And then my Planner Piece orders. So I have Planner Piece Co. My Etsy orders. Somewhere in here it starts. Starts right here. So I will draw that grid in again. And I keep a running printed grid in here of every order I have, when it was, the date it was shipped, and then mark off that they received it because it's hard to track online on Etsy. And then all those pages are blank because I don't know how many I'll need for orders, and then I'll have other business stuff. So then we get to the pages that are in Japanese. So this first one I like because it's just writing in there your own measurements. Like for me, this is 9 inches. This is 7. But I like writing those in there just because it's a good reminder to have. And I didn't need an extra page. And I use this centimeter thing a lot. All of the planner stuff is usually in centimeters, and I'm constantly trying to figure out how many centimeters something is. I will go back and with a ruler and write on here where the inch marks fall, just so I can compare. 100 I haven't filled in yet. I'm updating it. I haven't changed it in a few years, so I'm going to revamp it and write a completely new one in, but I'm going to do that this weekend. And then all the rest of these pages to the back of the book. What I did was take some blank pages I had left over from last year's weeks, and I just glued them on top. And the glue stick that I use, I don't know if I can reach it, is the most incredible glue stick I have ever found, especially for Tomoe River paper. I use it for sewing. I use it for everything. This Scotch wrinkle-free glue stick, I am telling you, it's very, very, very sticky. Like I use it sewing to stick fabric together to hold it in place. But on Tomoe River, it's amazing because I glue these pages down and there's no wrinkle, no bubbles. It's fantastic. And that page is on there. So I will go in and write my new affirmations in for what I'm working on this year. And then any routines that I'm switching up, I'll go ahead and write them in here because I want to create some new habits this year. And then books that I've read this year, I'm going to actually draw in a bookshelf, you know, with all the little books on shelves, and then write the titles in as I go. The list of books that I want to read, if someone tells me of a book to read, I always write it down in here because I'm constantly looking for new books to read or listen to on Audible. Gift ideas, and then vehicle maintenance, I'll draw the grid in again. And then I have these three, oh, it's stuck right there. I have these 3 pages that I don't know what I'm going to use yet. So you can see these are thick compared to the normal. This is basically 3 sheets of Tomoe River paper stuck together. But it's still not like putting a sticker on it. I tried doing a full sheet last year, like a full-on sticker, and I didn't like it. This, as I watercolor on it, or if I do any other things on it, it will soften up a little. You can bend it, but look at that. Even with bending it and the glue, you can see where I glued it down, but it goes right back smooth. So I use this book all the way to the very end. Like I don't want to waste pages in here. So that's it. And then in the back, so this is where it's usually hooked in the elastic, is my financial stuff. So I put the budget on one page, and then I have the mileage on the back of that page. So I haven't drawn in any of the other ones yet. I just have my stickers for all the mileage. And then this little book is just my financial book for the year. So if I need to take it out, I can. If I need to copy it, I'll have all my business expenses for my taxes written down in here. And I will have things like, I track my credit score, so I'll start a new tracker with that. Debt reduction, a new list this year, so I can start getting rid of some of this debt. And then savings at the end. So these, I love these little books. I have another one around somewhere that is the blue book. Let me see if I can find it. This book, I don't know how to get it into my case yet. And when I switch to the leather case, I'll find a way to put this in because I'm making a new one this year. This is going to be all my swatches. Watercolor, pen, ink, and then in the back are going to be doodles. So I'm making a new book. Instead of, I used to transfer it from book to book on those pages in the Mega, and I decided this is the way to go this year. So I can just keep them all in here and use it until this cover dies. I'll probably end up covering this with paper and contact paper to make it more durable because I really want this book to last for a while and I don't want to have to keep redoing it. So this will likely go in the front of this book or in the back of this one. We'll see. So that's it. That's my Hobonichi weeks. Like I said, I have fancy designs at the beginning, and then sometimes my weeks are stickers. Sometimes they're watercolor, like I did this week, which I didn't like. So this is more normal. A few stickers or washi tape, and that's it. I don't do crazy decorating. I do like the look of having these days covered, and that's what I didn't like here. I was trying something and then it didn't work out the way I was going to do it. So I may find some designs that I want to print myself. I'm a big fan of printing my own stickers, so I don't like to spend a lot of money on them. But this book already, like, look at it. It's already so thick. I mean, even if you take out my little financial book out of the back, it's already bulking up and it's going to be huge. But I just love this book. I love the Hobonichi Weeks. I've tried an A6. I've tried bullet journaling. I used rings for many, many, many years until I found Hobonichi years ago. Once I used the original Tomoe River paper, I fell in love with it. I love fountain pens. Right now I'm carrying this fine liner pen that is a 0.1. This is my absolute favorite pen from Paper Studio. I got it at Hobby Lobby, and I am now on the hunt because I found out you can buy rollerball refills that are actually fine liners. So I'm looking for a very gorgeous rollerball pen that will take a refill like that. And then I'm going to carry a fine liner pen as my pen because I use the Uni Jetstream and I love them. I've used them for years. I just got this cute little one. I have a pink one too. It has a jewel on the top. I bought this from Amazon Japan, and it has red, blue, and black. It's a multi-pen. I love Uni Jetstream. On this new paper, it bleeds through a little. I was writing with the red, and it was bleeding through to the other side. I press really hard, but I've never had a problem with fine liners. And so this may be the year I finally give up using a ballpoint pen. I just like to be able to highlight over things, especially like I said when I'm back in the weekly notes. When I want to move stuff around, I love highlighters. So I use mild liners a lot. I don't want the stuff to smear. And the fine liners, you know, they're good. They're easy to highlight over. I like being able to track things. And because I'm such a visual person, I like the color. So I think that's it. If you have any questions, put them in the comments or send me a message and I will do my best to answer them. Tabs. So these tabs they're just December through November. And see, I've already spilled stuff on it. Or I got watercolor on it. These tabs are really thin and inexpensive. I bought them on Amazon in a giant package and then sold all the extras off because I didn't need them. They come in either clear or opaque like these. I don't like the clear ones because I don't like seeing the numbers through on the other side. But I like having tabs to be able to find stuff easily again. And then I use my bookmarks. And then I also use ollie clips, magnets. I'm getting a large one to use because as it gets closer or thicker, I will hold sections of it together, and I prefer the large one to these smaller ones, but still, these iridescent ones, these hollow ones, these are great. I got them a year ago. I think that's it. Thanks, guys. Have a great rest of your 2020. Hopefully it all ends well for everybody. I don't know about you, but I'm very excited for this year to be over and to get into 2021 and see the incredible things that are going to happen for everybody. I will talk to you all soon.